What's up, everyone, to another episode of The Motive. We are joined by the King of Kitchens today,
How we doing?
Mr. Luke Singh.
Big up, Luke.
The King of Kitchens. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Take that one.
Do you know what? I had to think about that one before the episode. So. But thank you for coming
No,
today.
thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for coming, bro.
You're good?
Yeah, so for anyone that don't know, you have obviously a kitchen company.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. So I've been doing kitchens forever, but so F&L Kitchens been running 5 years now. Prior to that, I started kitchen very young because I was worked for the big chains, learnt my trade, shall I say, making mistakes with someone else's money. Ultimately,
it's a good way to do it. To be fair.
Mm. So that's work. I'm a dad, 2 kids, Francesca and Grayson, husband as well to Charlie, whatever she wants us to be called today. And that's me in a nutshell, really.
So we can talk a bit more about the kitchen shortly. But where did you kind of get brought up?
So I grew up in Edmonton.
Okay.
Just off Silver Street. Most people know it. Went primary school in Edmonton. Went secondary school in Enfield. Look, I come from a good family, so I wasn't on the streets of Edmonton, but you saw things happening.
Yeah.
And it makes you streetwise, essentially. You know which roads to walk down, which not, who to look at, who not. And, I've said for a long time, I want to move out of London, take my kids away, which I do, but you learn by living in London.
Yeah. Where would you go to?
I've said to myself before to go like Norfolk or like Cambridge.
Oh,
that's out. Which is great. It's a nice life, big field, beaches, all of that sort of stuff. But
I think there's a lot to be said though about coming from this kind of like hard upbringing.
You look at the job we all do today. You can't be a country bod and survive. You're never going to survive with the problems and one of our factories is up north. So when they come to every week, I get the same thing. Oh, there's traffic. I'm like, yeah, you come to London, bro.
Yeah.
Of course there's traffic.
Yeah, that's right.
Get
Traffic
used to
and
this.
smoke.
Like, where we're used to, I've planned to come here early because there's all likelihood there's going to be some maniac in the road.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, normally we're filming a lot later, and that's at like peak times when like there's a lot of traffic. Yeah. So bless people like Sammy, they have to endure the.
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah,
it's worth it. It's worth it.
But do you know what? It's quite funny because I remember hearing this kind of saying around stay in this place to become harder, and then go to like this sort of place to stay softer, and
that's interesting.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
because like I grew up in Walthamstow, so eventually I moved out to like Essex, Waltham Abbey, and there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Massive,
away from the smoke, like the people. I'm not that I love living in London, man, and growing up in London and learning. And
it's just easy to get everywhere. Commute is easy. Like, I'm only in Enfield now, so I'm not out, but it's just that little bit further.
Yeah.
My showroom's in Cuffley. People in Cuffley it's just a different world. It's a completely different world to Edmonton, which is 25 minutes away.
Yeah, that's right. The contrast is massive, isn't it?
As people drive to like the fields, the houses. You're not getting a house in Cuffley less than 1.2 mil.
Yeah, that's right.
That's basic.
In comparison. But Edmonton's gone up a lot anyway.
Yeah.
Like the property prices in Edmonton have shot up, and Walthamstow's gone up massively as well.
But I think they've tried to invest a lot in Edmonton, Tottenham with the new stadium.
Yeah.
I think they're just always going to struggle. My son plays football in Tottenham, so every Sunday we're there. And I drive through and I see the same people doing the same things to themselves every week. And how do you ever get rid of them people?
Yeah.
How do you Broadwater Farm's come a long way.
Yeah.
Still Broadwater Farm.
You know what? The first day on my job, at 16 years old, was at Broadwater Farm.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like... And for me, I think because I came from a nicer upbringing, when I went to these places, I was like, I almost was a bit excited to see it.
Like a TV program.
Yeah. It was like a completely different world. But the people were fine there. I just think probably one of the things they've done a bit wrong at places like Broadwater Farm is they haven't invested enough into the place over the years, and they've just kind of let it.
But as soon as you give something a reputation, or as soon as you tag something as bad, whether that be a place or a person, like I was watching something on the news the other day, like I don't know really what it's about, but about Matt Hancock and him breaking the rules during COVID and whatever else. Like, and then he was on that I'm a Celebrity program however long ago, and he was he seemed like a cool guy, you know.
Yeah.
But because he's got that tag, like, let's be honest, more people than him broke the rules during COVID.
Yeah,
you know, me included. You know, like we did.
Yeah, that's right. I think there's just the kind of walking contradiction where it's like you can't do this and you can't do that. You're the one saying it. You know, and then it's like, unfortunately, if you're going to be that person to say something, you have to lead by that example.
The problem is he's a puppet.
Yeah.
He didn't make them rules. He was told to say them rules.
Yeah, that's right.
And
he's got to do what he's got.
That can never be hidden, you know. I make the rules in my business, so I have to live by them.
Yeah, right or wrong.
Yeah, you know, we'll have a conversation today of my team. We have sales target. I have to lead the sales every month to show you can do it.
Yeah.
If I don't sell anything, you're definitely not going to sell anything.
Yeah, what chance?
I'm not in early. Why are you going to be in early? Like,
Yeah.
as much as I'm the business owner and I should be able to take a step back, like we set the stall.
Yeah, that's right. You have got to lead by example. But I think the thing that I've kind of learnt along the journey as well is that not everybody can be good at everything as well. So it's good to lead by example in all the areas that you're strong in. But people also probably, if they've got the right attitude and the right mentality, they can do the same as well, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
and I think this is where the world is going slightly wrong in terms of everyone wants everyone to be perfect. Everyone wants everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
And it's just not.
I think do you know what? Like, I am far from it, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'll make 100 mistakes. I don't care really. I think the important thing is to make sure you're learning from them if you can. It's just knowing when it's a lesson and when it's like, no, I'm sticking to my guns all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it?
And I think you get to a place that we've had it, not recently, but we've had it, kitchens got the wrong colour.
Oh,
like,
wow.
The panic that can happen, but I'm like, yeah, cool. Like,
yeah, you've seen it.
You want to keep it or you want to change it? Like,
what do you mean by that? So like you fit a kitchen, but it's the wrong colour?
Yeah.
Oh, swear.
Yeah. Changing colours of the kitchen is a click of one button.
Oh, okay.
Or one drop down. It could just be an oversight massively. So like I'll get the call like, oh, my kitchen's the wrong colour. Then the staff like, oh my god, the kitchen's the wrong colour. The fitters are panicking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. Like, does the lady want to keep it and like we'll just knock a bit of money off, or do you want to change it? Like we can change it. We have to wait for it. Like there's two options.
Yeah. And how do you feel when them situations happen?
Yeah, cool. Because there's two scenarios, right? Like there's so much. I had it recently with a client. I don't think she'll watch this, but anyway, we'll see. We done her kitchen, sweet, like such a nice person, such a nice family, no dramas, and to this day we've still got one snag that we've got to fix, and I actually don't know the solution for it. It's just a bit of a pain, and we've got to try and get around it. So I always keep in touch with her, like, look, we'll be at your house soon. She goes, yeah, it's cool. Like, I've got hospital again next week, and I'm like, I won't say her name. I was like, you got hospital again? Like, you good? She goes, well, look, I'll tell you now because we're nearly done. She goes, I've got cancer. And I'm like, why didn't you say? Like, we would have put, like, protocols in place and, like, tried to be a bit more cleaner and more accommodating. She goes, I don't want no sympathy. I just want a job done. But in the back of my mind, I know there's bigger problems. My one door that's sticking a little bit, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
You know, I've got someone who calls me this morning and goes, I'm missing one hinge and, like, wants to come down and fight.
Like, yeah, that's right.
Some hot-headed geezer.
Yeah. And the line of dramaticness to versus calmness is so big. There's no one in the middle.
Yeah,
we get some seriously rude clients.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Like, yes, you are spending 20-30 grand. You don't talk to me like that.
Yeah, how do you deal with them kind of people?
I just put the phone down.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Just
straight up.
Yeah, like, I'm like, don't talk to me like that. Still shut. I'm telling you, like, let's not talk like that. I just put the phone down. Then they'll call back. I said, if we're going to talk calmly, like, we'll chat. You want your kitchen resolved. I want you never to call me again. So, like, we've both got the same interest at heart.
The thing is, there's got to be like a methodical way or like a rationale of, okay, these, like what you mentioned earlier, option 1, option 2, option 3, whatever it is. It doesn't like, but some people want to just kind of get it all out. And
especially in my world, the builders of the world call the kitchen companies the glory companies. Because we come in with our capes at the end, put a nice kitchen in. They've just built this 20-meter extension, and my kitchen's the showpiece.
That's the fairy dust.
Yeah. But equally, it can go all wrong because if we're delayed or we've got stuff missing, we delay the finish. We delay the clients moving in, essentially. Not the 4 months of delays they've had already.
Yeah,
You know, from the roof or the windows or whatever it was. Like, that's forgotten. That was long gone. We're right at the end. We're the last impression.
To be fair, like I watch a lot of your videos, and like the final touches of like kitchen, like they look pretty.
And they
impressive.
never end kitchens. You know, as you move into your place, the kitchen's there. Then you start opening all the cupboards, putting everything away. Everything needs adjusting again. Because it's the first time the cupboard's been opened 3 times for you to put your plates away 3 times. They all need adjust. So it never ends.
Yeah, just constant maintenance.
Yeah.
Is that something you guys do as well? No, that is stay well out.
Now,
of
we've
it.
had clients call us. We're going to one on Saturday. We finished about a year ago. They had a big fallout with the builder, 5 flats in Walton in Surrey. And so, like, we're done. We'd finished. She called us back. Like, I need your help. I need you to come and snag some of these bits because I can't sell them.
Yeah, because what happens a lot of the time is builders, they'll take like the big meaty jobs, but they don't like the aftercare bits. So essentially, like as soon as they've done the job, they want to get as far away the job as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then make it somebody else's problem.
And this is why we like try to emphasize so much. We want to fit the kitchens.
Oh, okay.
We're not running away. Every supply only job I have is a nightmare. It is just a nightmare because my boys are used to it. They can do it with their eyes closed. They're happy to cut up, fill a panel down. Like, they're just used to it. Where builders are not.
Yeah, that's
builders
right.
are builders.
And it does muddy the water anyway when you start using external people, and then they start like not using things in the right way. And so why did you specifically get into kitchens?
Yeah, it was luck really. So I worked at Morrison supermarket.
Okay. How old were you then?
I started there when I was 16 and a half.
Okay, young.
So I went college, didn't like it. My mum saw me home one day like 3 times. Saw me one day, saw me twice, saw me the third time. She was one of the managers at Morrison's. She was like, "You're not going to college." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm sitting here playing PlayStation." She goes, "It's cool. I got your job." I was like, "Cool." It's only part-time to start with. So I walked in one day in my white shirt, trousers, and I met the store manager. Like, "I'm here to work. Like, what shelves do you want me to stack?" He goes, "Come." So I followed him outside the front. I'm like, I can't be fired already. Like, what's going on? I just got here. He goes, "See all them trolleys? Like, go get them as quick as you can for me."
Oh, it started from that level,
So I was at that level, and I'm looking at the boys around me at the time, and look, the trolley department fits a certain person, however we put this. And I was like, right. So I ran around, got all the trolleys. 10 minutes later, I'm back. He's like, "What, you're done?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Like, cool. I'll sweep the whole car park."
Wow, is that?
And I'm like, "Rah." So like, I was full of enthusiasm. So I was like, "Yeah, run around, do it."
Yeah.
A week in, I'm still doing the same job. At this point, I'm like, I ain't doing this. My mates are flying past on their bikes and like going to the cinema because it was the one on the A10, and I'm out there, you know, sweeping car parks. Like, what's happened? And I'm only 16 and a half, and I'm saying, what's happened? So I must have went to him one day. I was like, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. He goes, "This was your test. Like, you've held it out as long as you can, and now you said something. You've not just thrown your towel and walked away." I was like, cool. So he brought me inside, and I worked my way up to be like a deputy manager.
Oh, cool, man.
I was about 17 and a half, 18.
Oh, so pretty quickly.
Yeah. Of a department, not the whole shop. And then my manager at the time, so my department manager at the time, he left and went to Howden's.
Oh, nice.
And his twin brother already worked there. And he called me, he goes, "Luke." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "You need to leave today." I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, what do you mean I need to leave? I'm set. Like, I'm going to be here till I'm 50. Like, what's going on?" And he goes, "You need to leave. I've got you an interview to say, you know me, come down." And like, he started. So I did. I went and had a look. All looked good, but I didn't know nothing. I didn't know about kitchens. All I knew about kitchens is where my dinner come from.
Yeah, that's
all I knew. I didn't need to know. So I got a job as admin in Howden's. And I just worked my way up. By the time I was 21, 22, I was a branch manager. So that was good. Howden's was cool. And we'll talk about Howden's. I never really mentioned their name.
So where do you think you got that drive from?
My parents have always been hardworking. My granddad was a grafter.
What did he do?
He worked on lifts, Otis lifts.
Oh, yeah, Otis lifts.
Yeah, that's what he did. And was always grafting, always doing something in the house and things like that. But I like money. Essentially, I liked money. That also took a bad turn in a small way. because I worked in a place, I worked in Howdens. I was 21, 22, whatever I was. No, I must have been, maybe 19. I was a branch manager. I was earning 25, 26 grand a year. Probably went up to 30. I didn't know what to do with my money. What could I do? There was no advice. No one was like, stack it.
What were you generally doing? It just spending it?
Going out, buying clothes. Got a car, like not a special car, but got a car.
Yeah.
I just had money, you know. And ultimately that all got to my head. I thought I was the bollocks.
Balling.
Yeah, I was because none of my friends had this money.
Yeah.
No one did. You know, I was going out every weekend and spending money. I was buying clothes like I was going out of fashion.
Just consumerism, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people who like earn good money but don't really understand money, they just spend it.
Yeah. And ultimately it all got to my head. Then I got introduced to cash.
Oh, okay.
You know, because however we look at this, the building industry is very, and I think it still is, it's still very cash driven.
Yeah.
Cash is king.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to detriment that.
See, I've got a different mind. Like I find cash complicated in my world.
Yeah, it is because you can't trace it.
Yeah. But it's just like, what I can do most times in my life now, I can just pay with a card or something like that. So,
but the amount of pubs you go to now and they don't take cash. I'll have like a couple $100 on me, and you go to buy a drink, like, we don't take cash.
Yeah, it's all new world order, man. I want to get rid of it.
But in terms of deals, like back then, you know, I was getting people coming in like, can I have a door? Like, I've got 20 quid, the door's 30 quid. And I was like, yeah, cool, like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't I was stealing it, like the cash was going back in, but I was just coming in at the end of the day and like, right, cool, that's £200 for them 3 doors that we've just sold. He didn't want a receipt, so I took cash. Like, that was just wrong. But it was just what was about.
There's a naivety though when you're younger as well. Like, you just accept certain things that as you grow through life, I think you're a bit like, well, actually, you're doing them more of a favour than you're doing yourself. That's what ends up really happening.
You know, I had one builder who, so you know yourself, Howdens, you have credit accounts, right?
Yeah.
I had one builder who used to set up limited companies, run up a 20 grand bill, close the account.
Oh, really?
Full well knowing, I'm sure things are different now. Howdens ain't chasing me. And once you go to limited company, what can you do anyway? And he was a bastard about it. You know, he was opening one in his daughter's name, his son's name, his missus' name. Like, so in one way, shape or form, it's affect their credit.
Yeah,
like
it
one
always
way,
comes
shape, or
back to
form.
bite you, to be fair.
But yeah, like now, if someone was doing that in my business, I'm like, listen, go away. Like, do it to someone else, or why are you even doing that at all?
Has that ever happened? Like, have you ever been knocked or?
No, not for like 500 quid. Was the most we've been knocked for.
Yeah.
It's still painful. We had someone, he lives literally a stone's throw from here, tried to sue us last year for creating too much dust when we fitted the kitchen.
Oh, I swear.
Like, it was mental. The whole scenario, it was last Christmas. Ruined my Christmas. He was like, yeah, I want 18 grand. I'm like, bro,
So
why?
it's a scam.
Yeah, he had every intention of doing it. The house was semi-live, like they were living there. He was like, my sons have got a breathing condition, my other son's got this condition. And I'm like, but you never told us that. Like, if you, like, we're humans, you tell us that. We're going to put maybe a few precautions in place.
Yeah, if it's a priority, isn't it?
But you're having a kitchen. Like, what did you expect? It was just going to fall out of the sky and then, like, come into your house. And it went really, really far. And I had a solicitor involved. He had his solicitor involved. In the end, I called him up one day after Christmas. And I'm like, bro, do what you want to do. I ain't giving you nothing. And he backed away.
Yeah, did he?
Straight away.
Yeah, it was just a form of blackmail.
And I was so close to giving him the money.
You see?
So close. Because I just needed his problem gone. You know, and he actually came, we had a meeting before he proposed this figure. And on me, I had 2 grand in cash. Because I knew he was coming in. And the meeting sort of ended like, look, we're cool. Let's just forget about it. Let's move on. It must have, so I was like, well, I'm not going to offer you no money. It's like good compensation or goodwill. And she must have got home an hour later. I had an email. We've taken legal advice, all in an hour. Taken legal advice. We want half of the kitchen back, so that'll be 18,600. I was like, my whole world just fell in front of me.
Whoa, man. Sunk.
Yeah, he was like, my TV's damaged. I've had an engineer to come see my TV. I'm like, bro, shut up. And like, you know.
So how long did that last?
3 months.
3 months.
3 months. And it got in my head.
Did it?
Not
Yeah,
much
of course
gets in my head.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it got in my head. Christmas was half ruined. 'Cause
Did
all
you
I
have to
could
seek
think about-
legal advice or?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. And it was hard, right? Because there was nothing in place, which we have got in place now, that says there's going to be dust produced. Because, it's the naivety, again, as being a business owner. You just assume people know we're going to cut wood. There's going to be some
that's
dust.
right. Yeah.
But you can't be naive. You have to try and think of every problem. My T&Cs update every week.
Really? Yeah, does it? So when you
Every
send
new
into-
problem just gets put onto it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Whether it be problem or parking tickets or whatever it'll be,
So
just
you
gets
learn-
added.
You learn from it.
Yeah.
And then it's just pretty much a disclaimer to the
Yeah.
client to say, look, while we'll do everything in our ability to be responsible here, this could potentially happen.
Now, at the bottom of our quotes, for example, we said we don't remove any rubbish. Because my boys go in cars, so we don't have space for rubbish. But we can organise a rubbish collection if you want it. Everyone's like, nah, we'll sort of go to the tip. Amount of times at the end of the job, well, what about this rubbish? I'm like, well, we spoke about that. Oh, yeah, but it's your rubbish, not mine. I'm like, well, technically it's yours because you paid for it, so it's not mine.
Yeah.
Like, it's just mad. Like, people's expectations are just crazy. And I'd done a video at Christmas last year. Like, it's the hardest time of year, Christmas. I think for everyone in business, because we all close.
Yeah.
It's the only time of year everyone's off together. But the pressure pre-Christmas is mental.
Really busy.
It's just, but there's one deadline. Like, you only need your kitchen for Christmas Day, right? Like, that's what they think. It's not true. So the pressure, the screaming, the shouting, that's where Inside Out, the temporary kitchen company, was.
I was going to say, there's no pressure anymore, is there?
That's where it came from, because I had a lady who just screamed for like a week. Like, you'd call her screaming. You'd call her screaming. You'd call her to say you're finished. She's still screaming.
So for anyone that don't know, Inside Out is
my temporary kitchen company. So we bring temporary kitchens, put them in your driveway.
I'm going to get a photo and we're going to put it up on
Wicked, so you can carry on living while your house is being destroyed, essentially, and potentially not have to move out.
Yeah,
which seems to be the going problem.
Good resolution to that.
Yeah, if you're just doing downstairs, we'll live upstairs and have this in your drive.
And it's got all the facilities, everything you need.
Washing machine, ovens,
yeah,
fridges, even a table. Like, the next marketing venture for it on us is the work from home aspect.
Okay,
because you can work in there.
You can, yeah. From the size of it, like
there's a little table, little stools, benches. You can work from there.
It's like. Have you seen this anywhere else?
Yeah.
Oh, you have.
There are some people that do it, but very insurance driven. So they do look like burger vans.
Yeah.
So they're white. We've cladded ours with wood and made it look really cool.
Yeah, it looks really nice, man.
But just a white box on your drive either looks like it's something to do with the NHS or a crime scene.
Yeah. They're more like a bit industrial. They're probably the ones that you're referencing. Like,
and we're going to do every single one slightly different, exterior and interior. So they like suit people's houses. You can pick one day the one you want.
Yeah, because I've seen them like they use them for sites as well, but obviously not of your one, because your one's like a very niche luxury for private sectors. But you can do that variable, can't you?
Yeah. And we're not going to do it with the second one, maybe the third. Put a toilet and a shower in. That's even bigger.
100%.
But my issue with that is like sewage waste and foul waste. How do you get that out?
Yeah, so what we used to have to do when I used to fit the big industrial ones is literally, if there's a manhole that's of that person's driveway or that's where you'd run it to.
Yeah. But it's keeping it, like buying the adapter to go on top of the manhole to keep it covered and not smell like shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Essentially. Or you have like a caravan, one of them boxes.
That's right.
But someone's got to empty it.
So what was the jump, bro, that made you start your own business?
What was the jump? So I worked at Howden's, I worked at Magnet, then I worked for an independent sort of high-end Irish kitchen company. So they're all based in Ireland. I was here. That was for about a year. So we did a lot of contract work in and around North London, but they were all there and I was the only one. It was just hard.
How did you get into that?
I got poached. So one of my big customers at Magnet was friends with this guy. He said, I want you to have a meeting with this guy. I'm like, yeah, cool. What have I got to lose? Went to the pub. Mo gave me a wicked package. I was like, let's do it though. Nothing to lose. Magnet wasn't, and it's still not. It's a very flatline business. It's not a market leader. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's go. But I learned a lot of Magnet compared to Howden's. 2 different businesses.
Did you?
Same products, but Magnet's very retail focused. Howden's very trade.
Okay.
So you learn that Mr. and Mrs. Smith versus the Grizzly Builder. So I went and worked for him, and I was doing I was doing everything. I was labouring. I was helping the boys fit the kitchens, and I'm a terrible hands-on person. But I was planning kitchens. I was trying to build up their retail business, which was non-existent.
Oh, right.
But their lead time was about 12 weeks. Their costs were super high. Because it was nice stuff. It was really nice stuff. So in that interim, while I was working with them, I was getting calls like, Luke, I need a 10 grand kitchen. I need a 3 grand kitchen. I need a 5 grand kitchen. So I started brokering between Howden's, Magnets, and a couple of other companies. So I was still designing them, going around, measuring it up, because I had my diary was my diary. I could do it anytime. And I was getting this Howden's kitchen delivered. I was getting this delivered. Then someone went to me, like, I need a van for the plasterboard. I was like, cool, I'll get that. I started brokering that and materials. A year into working with this Irish firm, it wasn't really working. I hadn't hit the numbers he wanted me to hit. He hadn't really delivered what he said he was going to deliver for me. We were meant to have a showroom and all these sort of things, and we never had it. So he said, it's not really working, Luke, is it? I said, no, not really. He goes, this was a gamble for me. He said, what about if I pay you for 3 months and you just help me wind down? I was like, yeah, cool. Started winding down, F&L opened.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. And that's when you started it.
F&L was already open because we were doing the brokering and we were still selling kitchens.
Yeah.
But it was officially opened.
Do you know what I learnt this a little while about when you work for like these big corporate organisations at like a Magnets type place. There's a very specific job role that they get you to do, which you can generally learn to become quite good at.
Yeah.
But when you work for a smaller type business, you have to be very dynamic, and you have to learn a jack of all trades to some extent. But you learn how all the cogs move, and I think it's a very insightful thing for then if you decide to go out on your own, you've got kind of like that specific role mentality, but then you've also got the
the culture shock is huge. And and you look at the boys and girls in the bigger high street firms at the moment, and the managers, they're branded as business owners. Man, you're not even scratching the surface of a business owner. You're managing your staff, yes. You're bringing in sales and doing lots of jobs, yes, but you're just a manager.
Yeah.
You're not a business owner, but they're trying to give them autonomy to run their own business, but you're not. You have rules to stick by. You can't come out of these. You've only got these products to sell.
Well, you know just more than anyone, the accountancies, the insurances, like we've got a fleet, but the people, the HR,
taxes,
like the processes, the procedures, the list goes on and on and on.
Someone said to me not long ago, what's your job? And I was like, all right, we'll get a list out, shall we? But what's your biggest job? Like, what do you do the most? Not what you're good at, but what do you do the most? I said, I'm a social worker.
A social worker.
Whether that's between my clients and their husbands and their builders, or whatever it will be, because that is an ongoing domestic, or my staff. I struggle for my staff not to have any issues. Some are like well and truly warranted, because life happens. Some are not.
It's the spice of life.
Yeah, it is, and it's really hard being a business owner and having staff. As much as I need them, and 90% of the time everyone's great. They throw a curveball, grenade in, or whatever it will be. I need to deal with it.
I think the kind of art in business is to make sure the pendulum doesn't swing in too much of any direction.
Yeah.
You need to have a level of compassion and understanding to your team, but naturally they also need to know who the boss is.
Yeah.
Because you are ultimately responsible for a lot of things. The risk, all of it, doesn't sit with your employees, it sits with you. So if something goes horribly wrong, you're the be all and end all. And I think there has to be a mind shift there to make sure that people... But do you know what? I think through business, employment in life, some people care and some people don't.
Yeah, I was about to say that. People don't care enough.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Some people really do care.
Yeah.
And they will care enough to make something work.
Yeah.
And some people might just be like, you know what, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
And that's okay as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
And it's hard as a business, and that's why we're in groups like we are with GT and people like that, where, you know, I've had shit going on recently, and I was, you know, I was working till 11 in the morning, going off to the hospital, coming back at 5 o'clock, working till 8, because that's what I need to do. You know, granted, that's not an employee's mindset, but it should be. You know, because
you got to be careful, because not everyone is actually an entrepreneur. Like,
No.
and that's okay. Like, there isn't.
No, there's too many of us who have problems.
You would have a problem, wouldn't we? So, like, it's good to know your substance and what you're about and what. But sometimes, I suppose the difficulties is then resonating.
Yeah, but I imagine in your dad's era, my granddad, like, you worked. You don't call sick, you work. Like, that's just period. Employee, business owner, entrepreneur, millionaire, whatever it was, you worked. That ethos is gone.
Going, yeah.
People don't have to work.
Snowflakes.
Yeah, people don't have to work. Don't work. You know, happy to sit at home all day.
Yeah, it's getting into a bit more of a softer world.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to naturally create softer people.
Yeah.
And then, but it's a revolving circle. Once the softer people come, the hard times come.
Yeah.
Because life doesn't get easy by being soft.
No.
Like, life becomes easy by working, like, being really hard.
You
doing
work for it.
Yeah, you got to go through the grind to actually have a good life.
Yeah.
But it just goes back. So then the soft people create the hard times create the hard people. And it just goes back around.
And this is where I think that, you know, I mentioned it yesterday briefly to you, the educational system, you know, they've got the next generations in their hands. Are they doing the right thing to them?
Yeah, because you've obviously got children, so
yeah. And you know, my daughter's 8. I've gone to her parents' evening, and they've gone like, yeah, she needs a bit of help with this and a bit of help with that.
How do you handle that as a parent?
And I'm like, right, she's 8. Like, if I give her Instagram, she'll run right on it. Like, she knows what to do. If I give her these games, she knows what to do. You know, she's done many of Instagram stories for me over the years, and she does it. She's cool.
She's capable, isn't she?
Yeah, and you know, how many things did we all learn at school that we use today?
I was speaking to another parent about this yesterday, actually, and she had some problems, and the teacher was being quite saying this person that her child wasn't doing enough, and bearing in mind she had some issues outside of work going on. But I think, like, teachers really need to come from a place of compassion and understanding, like, and they need to be fluid with children. They can't herd them like sheep. They're all different human beings with different characteristics, and you know what one person might be really good over here at, another person might not be.
And I'm sure, and I had there's some amazing teachers out there, but there's a lot of generic teachers, and there's a lot of generic learning curriculars, and you know, that doesn't work. Well,
stick to the
I
script,
wish before I left school, I was taught about taxes, mortgages,
life,
social media. It wasn't as big of a thing then, but just learn about all that stuff. Then learn about, I don't know what I was learning about, chemistry. That it's just irrelevant to my life.
Nonsense.
Not irrelevant to someone. You know, religious education, geography, what river not to drink from if I get stuck in a mountain. Like, I'm going to drink from anyone if I'm thirsty, if I'm stuck. You know, like, essentially. But I just still feel like we're creating a future, and I'm trying to not go Andrew Tate on the world here, but, like, where we're robots.
Yeah, it is. It's just rinse and repeat, isn't it? Just remember this, and then repeat it.
And what's your view on him, anyway?
Who?
Andrew Tate.
Man, he just likes fame.
Yeah,
just likes fame.
Clout.
Yeah, man. He'll say whatever he needs to say, right or wrong. He just likes fame.
Yeah,
he's not He's a clever man. Like, don't get me wrong, but he just likes being in the spotlight. And the more he's in the spotlight, and more he says controversial things, the more views he gets.
It's true, because he was doing TV work like Big Brother and stuff like that. So
from a young age.
The more views he gets, the more endorsements he gets. He pays for his life. Done.
Because I've heard this has been quite impactful in schools, like with Andrew Tate, where schools have been quite anti-Tate. Yeah.
Well, my sister was a teacher, so they get like told, you know, about Andrew Tate, and like imagine that, like getting told about like.
Would you have him on your show?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. If you knew you were going to lose a load of viewers.
If it was detrimental, The thing is that
all female people would not watch your podcast ever again.
potentially, but I'm you know, I kind of hold my views back with certain things.
Yeah.
And I think our kind of job here is to actually get to know the person or the individual.
Yeah.
And some people want to hear that stuff, right? And I think the problem that you got in this game is not everyone's going to like you for what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that, because there's nothing here that we're trying to do where we're trying to create something negative.
Yeah.
We're talking to people that have created great achievements in their life, done something positive, generally come from like a hard background or a poor background, have made an achievement on their life, which hopefully motivates and inspires other people to do the same.
Yeah.
So if that message wants to get twisted by other people, that's going to be everybody else's
And it's
prerogative.
all opinions, because, you know, you could get someone come out, you could get Beyonce to come out today, for example, and say, I actually think Andrew Tate's right. It's a full U-turn. The guy's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, that's right.
It just is.
All I will say is the guy came from Luton and had no money and is potentially a billionaire. Like, and obviously there's been a lot of certain things that he's done you might argue are immoral or unethical, but just to see the vast change of what a human being can do in their lifetime, when some of us aren't even leaving the sofa most weekends. So, and I know what it's like in my life to be in a dark place where you're a bit lost, you don't know what you're doing. I also know what it looks like when you're found and get great achievements and do positive things in your life. And that is far more fulfilling. And that's what every human being should be doing in their lifetime, is becoming the best version of themselves.
Yeah. The problem nowadays with speaking your opinion is some people's opinion is worthless. You know, there is still untold amount of racism in the world. There is homophobic people, and, you know, their opinion, you know, rightly or wrongly, doesn't count. You know, foreign people shouldn't live here. Well, like, you're mad. What are you talking about? They've always been here. You know, the whole Brexit thing. You know, I remember people saying, yeah, but all them Eastern Europeans will go. Like, they've gone. Now you can't get good quality fitters.
Now, and there was a big labour issue with that as well.
You know, let's get rid of all of them, you know, like, everything will be fine. All the factories now haven't got these people. Us, British people who were born here and things like that, there's very few of us that like working. A lot don't. You know, the dole, people signing up, the job centres, they're queuing out the door in the morning. Don't actually want to work.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just a society and culture thing that just, we're in a rut. But, you know, the Eastern Europeans that I've worked with, you know, love money.
Yeah.
And they don't want to steal it. They want to work for it. They want to work. My fitter asked me last year, like, can I work Boxing Day? I'm like, bro, no. Like, you can come back on the 3rd of Jan like everyone else. He said, but why? Because when you got a question, you got to call me, and I don't want to answer it. Like, that's the only reason you can't work.
They're hungry, man.
Yeah. But when you, like, think about the life that they got brought up in, to have that mindset, like, you can understand why they're like that. So if they didn't work, there was no food on the table.
Yeah.
And that's the mindset that they locked in. Like, and I think where probably like modern day society, there's a bit more of a comfort blanket going on.
Ultimately, you're never going to be, I'm going to say this, you're never going to be homeless. You're never going to have no water or food. You know, you just, like, we live in a world. There's a guy I follow on Facebook, I can't remember his name, and he just walks into random restaurants, hotels, McDonald's, like, I forgot my order, like, you missed off my chicken burger. They just give him one. Walks into hotels, goes, which way's breakfast? You know, he walked up to a room and was like, oh, you're here. And she, like, the cleaner's in there, and he goes, oh, you're here. And she goes, yeah, I'm cleaning the room. Like, I need to have a shower before I go. So he gets her to go to have a shower. Like, it's just, like, if you want to, there's a way.
What, is that what he does? And he just videos
it all, yeah.
Does he?
Like, got into, like, the Qatar World Cup and all sorts of random things, just by chance.
Yeah, and just breaking boundaries, just like doing it.
You've got the balls to do it, you've got it.
Yeah, it's balls, isn't it?
But you're never in this world going to go hungry.
Not definitely not in this country.
Western,
yeah, I think it'd struggle. Which maybe the comfort blanket is part of the problem, because then the mindset shifts and be like, well, it's all right. It doesn't matter because I've got this as a comfort blanket. You know, when my dad's episode's coming out soon, and he was talking about like how sharing with another family, and it was all poverty, and there was no help at all. But that created a hard individual that ended up going out into life and then working really hard.
Yeah, you had to go get mentality. Yeah, I want this, I need it, I need to earn for it. And I've got that mentality. If I want a new pair of trainers, in my head, I'm like,
You got to work
I'm
for
going to
it.
sell that kitchen, I can buy them trainers. You know?
Reward system.
Yeah, we're taking the missus away next week, it's her birthday, and I'm like, cool, so I've booked this nice hotel, and I now need to sell you. Like, you're buying a kitchen this week. And that's what I'm thinking, and I'll move on. You've bought, cool, go through the process. Right, what's my next target? Cool, like, summer's coming, kids are going to cost me a load of money. I need to sell you. Like, you're a good kitchen, you're enough profit on you, I need to sell it.
Well, that's good because then you've got the vision, isn't it, and the aim. So then you know.
And I said
what
to
you
my
need
staff
get
today,
done.
you know, we've had a great 2 years of consistent work. Through COVID, it was brilliant. Everyone done their house up, and it's just trickled. We've had a small dip now in inquiries in mortgages. Summer's normal this year. There's no COVID passports or anything. Everyone I know is going on holiday in one way, shape, or form. Schools are pretty much normal. Exams have been normal, and you know, year 6, for example, in primary school are going to leave, and year 11 are going to leave and have parties and proms and whatever they do. That seems to be all normal. So we've dipped with inquiries. So I'm like to my team, you know, I used to say to you, like, treat every client, every lead, any prospect, like he's going to put food on your table. This is actually what you need to do now. This is real.
That's the mentality.
If it dips, there won't be food on your table. And I said, I'd hate to ever say it to you, but I can't afford your wages this month.
Yeah.
Like, that could happen. Touch wood, it doesn't, but that could happen.
Did you find through COVID that a lot of people were doing their kitchens?
Yeah,
and
mental.
Stuff?
Was it crazy?
Was it?
Because they had money to.
Crazy.
to
I'd
spend
never
and
made
time.
so much money.
Oh wow.
It was the leg up I needed. Like, if you said to me tomorrow, COVID's coming back, I'd say, yeah, bring it.
Fantastic.
Because I saw you on your page. You was experimenting with other social media things. Like you attempted to do a bit of like a podcasting interview.
we done maybe 8.
And I wasn't sure if that was because things were really quiet and you were trying.
No, I think it's just because mental health was massively on the agenda.
Ah, nice.
And look, I've always believed that. I wouldn't say I've ever struggled with mental health. Everyone's got mental health, right? I've never struggled personally. I feel like I'm quite strong, but it takes me a long time to get comfortable with people and open up. I like to help. I don't like to be helped.
Yeah.
I just don't. You know, with all the stuff, you know, we've had a quick chat about it. All the stuff going on in my life over the last month. You know, I literally sat there last night and I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, everything is there, and I can't fix it.
Yeah, I think it's really important about this kind of reciprocation of helped and being helped. It's a real crucial part of life, because if you only help other people and you don't want to be helped, then naturally you're only inviting takers into your life.
Yeah.
And that was and I've spoken to so many people about this. It's definitely a cultural thing as well. In my family, I know Sammy's told me about it before. My friend Andreas, we want to be of service to people and we want to look after people. But you know, in life, there's got to be a reciprocation, and I think everyone's got to have their blessings in the same.
Yeah, and I'm quite lucky. I've got people like Neil Giller who always check in with me, and I've got George. Cashflow, who will always check in with me. He spoke to me this morning. And he was like, what's going on? And I'm like, you know, like, work's cool. Like, work will always be cool. If leads get low, we'll just go harder. You know, if people bring us problems, we'll bat them away or fix them. Like, one of the two. But, like, life is just hard, you know. Like, we'll go into it. Like, so my nan is in hospital. She had a fall. She's now been moved to, like, a rehab hospital with the view of her going home. This hospital only keeps her for 2 weeks. So she's going home bedbound.
Oh, is she?
So she get a care package from the NHS, which is 6 weeks of free care. Then she got to pay for it 4 times a day. So these carers come in 4 times a day. But like, logically, when you think about it, and this is where, like, I go like all anti and all Viking, like, why do I pay taxes? But I'm like, cool. So she'll get a carer coming at 6 in the evening, potentially, maybe 7. The next carer is due, logically in my head, at 7 in the morning. So she's already in bed for 12 hours. No one to talk to, no one to help her, no one to do anything for 12 hours. Then what happens if that cleaner in the morning, carer that's coming in at 7 a.m. is sick or late or had childcare issues or all of these issues, and the next person's not going to come till 1 o'clock. She's been in bed for however long, 16 hours.
It's tough.
There's no way to live. I said to my missus last night, if we didn't have kids, I'd move in. I can't do that to my kids. I can't be at work all day and then be with Nan all day and not, like, they need me as well. My missus needs me, I'm sure. Like, she's on her own most of the day, bar a 3-year-old running his mouth to her.
It's tough, man.
And I just sit there, you know. My granddad's no longer here, but he worked so hard for them to have a good life, you know, mortgage free, etc. She worked hard. She was a carer herself all her life and looked after us. You know, was the first port of childcare for my parents and my uncles, so for my cousins.
And this is your
mum's mum.
Mum's mum.
Yeah. So, you know, she's got 5 grandkids, 3 great grandkids. Like, she's looked after us all. Now she needs looking after. We can't look after her.
So what are you going to do?
Don't know. Without putting her in a care home.
Yeah, because I remember when my nan got really old, and then, like, she has, like, 4 daughters. So they all had to take turns of going there.
Yeah.
Sharing, and a son. So
can't
like
pick
5
a
kids.
family though, right?
Yeah, so it's like, it takes a lot, you know. It's a lot of...
Well, what do you mean by that?
People don't want to help.
Right. Yeah.
People can't help.
Well, yeah,
People
people...
can't help.
Yeah.
They might want to, but you can't
You know,
even...
like my sister just had a baby, you know, like, it's baby's 4 weeks old, 5 weeks old. She can't.
Yeah.
How's she going to leave him? You know, I'm running a business, and I've got kids, and I've got friends. Like, one of my friends just called me as I was driving here. Like, bro, like, are we cool? I'm like, yeah, why? He said, I ain't seen you. Like, I ain't spoke to you. I'm like, bro, I'm just busy, and I've got other shit going on. Like, if you need me, call me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, let me get through what I need to get through.
Because sometimes you just gotta, like, roll with the punches with that, haven't you? Like, the thing is, you can either sit there feeling sorry for yourself about the situation, or just keep trying to just get through it and ride the storm. Because things change. Things do change.
It's horrible, man. Because you see her in hospital and she's like, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I get it. She's like, do you know, I actually just don't want to be here. And I'm like, Ross, like, that's a tough pill to swallow. You just say that, and at the time you're like, oh, shut up. But like, would I want to be here? Like, I don't know.
It's definitely.
Me and my
not
missus
the same.
often just like lay in bed and we're talking. I'm like, when I get to that stage, like, just drop a little bullet in my head.
Put me out my misery.
Yeah, but you know, so rightly or wrongly, we're going to detail. We have to lay in our own shit for 16 hours.
Yeah.
Like, it's no life. And I'm building a successful business and all the nice clothes and the nice car and the nice kids and the nice family from the person who started this family who's got nothing.
Yeah.
But love, and love's just not enough at the moment.
Yeah.
So what would you do? Like, maybe look to outsource, like, another carer?
So you can outsource carers. The care world, you know, it's the best business to get into. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Someone said to me years ago, open a care home.
Yeah, my mate's got one. Yeah, his family own care homes and that. So it's big business.
And I bet they're
it's
rolling.
tough. Yeah, it's doing really well, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Really
the best
well.
business because you pay for the best care. You know, all that money and this is, like, I don't care. I don't want none of her money. Like, I'd rather her happiness and she be here than her money, naturally. But all her money she's worked up for, potentially, I don't own a house, I rent. It might, in the back of my mind, when we will come to buy it, because it's just too hard. You know,
So you rent, do you?
Yeah.
Have you always been renting?
Always rented. You know, my rent cost me the best part of $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Plus bills, plus food and the kids and clothes and everything else. I can't save for a deposit at the same time.
Yeah, that's
impossible.
It's challenging.
It's possible, but my kids don't get the best life. So it's a balance. But in the back of my mind, when my grandparents or parents die, you know, hopefully it's all there in a long time. That will be my leg up.
You'll get a little bit of help, yeah. The only good thing about renting is like you're not locked down to anything, are you?
No, looking at mortgage rates, like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
My landlord's good as gold. Like, my rent's gone up 50 quid in like 5 years.
Yeah.
That's good.
You know,
Yeah.
I know where I am, and I can leave if I want.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Exactly.
You're
Yeah. You're
not
not.
freedom.
But she's gonna, you know, care homes. Some of them are like $2,000 a week.
Whoa.
Can it be?
Because you want the best care.
Of course you do. Yeah. Of course
you
you
don't
do.
put her in some hostel.
Yeah. Some of them are rough, you know, them care workers.
And you
that,
see the care workers. Like, I was in, and she's getting a bit of dementia, right? And she goes, "Oh yeah, that nurse was really horrible last night." I'm like, "Who?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, are you telling the truth? Or
Yeah.
I don't know. But because she's got that mindset, the truth's hard to determine.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's back now home.
No, she's still in this rehab hospital. She's going back next week. They're bringing like all these like special walkers, like, but she can't walk, so I don't know what that's going to do. Like grab rails, panic alarm,
Stair lifts.
Stair lifts.
Well, she lives in a bungalow, so she's sweet.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
From that point of view.
Like a commode, so she can go toilet in, but like she can't get onto it.
Oh, yeah, bless her.
Like, you know, you go from, it's weird. Life's weird, right? So you're a baby. You know, pre 2 years old, you're in a nappy. You go 83, 84. You go back to nappies.
You go back round again.
They
And
say
you do turn into a child.
twice a baby, once a man.
Yeah, it is. It's so.
Or
It's
women.
hard. Or women,
Or
yeah.
women, yeah.
Or both.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's, I fully understand that.
And it's hard. I woke up 3 o'clock this morning thinking about like, what can we do? Like, and I don't know what's the right answer. There ain't one.
You might have to just maybe chat to her and see what she feels.
Thing is, she's in
what
denial, right? Old people get into denial. They're like, I'm cool. She's saying to the nurses, you know, I can walk round. Yeah, I walk around the house and go shopping every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, and the physio's like, show me how you walk. Maybe a bit later.
Yeah.
And they probably don't want to be a burden as well on
Yeah.
anyone,
Yeah.
you know?
That's what she says when you go, I'm so sorry. Like, thanks for coming. You didn't have to come.
Yeah, imagine.
I'm like, listen, we're always going to come.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's why you've always got to keep in mind that we're all kind of headed to like old age and like if we're lucky.
Yeah.
So
The same
always
direction.
keeping that in mind and witnessing that and seeing that and having that in the back of your mind. It takes a little bit of stress away a little bit because you know that in the end we're all headed to like
Life's short.
basically.
Life is mad short. A couple of my friends were at a funeral today. One of their pals they play football with. There was a big car crash on the North Circular a couple of weeks ago by North Mid. It was him. He died.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
I met the geezer once. Like we weren't friends, but it's just like
Yeah, that's as
32,
quick as that.
33-year-old
Just like
guy
that. Yeah.
gone. I think he had a kid and the missus just gone. And we live in a world. What's the end goal? You know, do I want to be sitting on a beach when I'm 70 with loads of gold chains and a helicopter ready to take me to my next destination, or do I just want to be happy? You know, because you put that on social media now, they all want a helicopter.
I want a helicopter.
Yeah, there you go.
It's true.
But do we just want to be happy, and what is happiness? You know, none of us know because we're not there. We're not old enough.
What's happiness to you?
Happiness to me is peace.
Okay.
Like my life is full of dramas, and I'm in a rat race, and there's always issues. To wake up one day and just be like, I'm gonna cut the grass.
Have you ever been at peace?
No, I don't know. I feel like my head goes too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never there's like real tranquility moments in my life, but I can't say that I've ever fully been at peace with myself because I don't think life allows you to be fully at peace either.
I booked my holiday this year for 21 days, 3 weeks. I bottled it and dropped it down to 17 days because I can't switch off in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I've never had more than 2 weeks off work. I've never had more than 12, 13 days off work ever at one time. So I was like, we need to do it this year because I'm hoping I can get to 10 days, like be at the point where the light's just on, not doing anything, but the light's just on.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I've got 7 days of just being fully there and present because I can't.
It takes you 10 days though, about 10 days, does it?
Yeah.
Just to lock off.
Just to lock off. And it's my baby, right? Like the business is, by my family, the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your baby, yeah.
And it can just all, you know, one bad deal, one bad move, it's gone. Like we're all a bad move away from like, whether that's with my wife, with my work, with my friends, with my car. I'm one bad thing away from not having any of them. You know, your car, you have a crash. Misses, you do something stupid that you shouldn't do. Work, you absolutely fuck up a job and just can't get back from it. We're one bad move from.
Do you know what it's like? I see my business very much like a parent as well, right? But I do think there's an evolutionary mindset that you have to have with business, because when it's like a baby, you got to look after it, you got to nurture it and like constantly be on it like all the time. And as it gets a little bit older and it grows, you have to be a different type of parent to it.
Like, I've got currently a stubborn teenager.
Yeah, have you?
That's my business. It's a stubborn teenager. It keeps answering back. Keeps not doing what I tell it to do.
Yeah.
QBE.
Yeah, basically. And I need to get to like the 20-year-old business, like not in years, but a bit more mature, like, sort of found his path, and like we're going for it now. And it's just getting to that point, you know, staff retention's hard.
Yeah.
You know, in the last 5 years, what have we had? I've got rid of, not a lot, 2 people, but we're only a team of 5.
Yeah.
But I've had 3 new people come in.
See, I'm not proud of it either, but my staff retention hasn't been very good. But the problem that you got is that not everyone, like, you got to understand that you are the employer, and everybody that you employ, you have to be able to resonate with.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to relate to. If you guys have got both completely different ideals of what life is, you are still the owner.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of it, it all goes back to, well, what is it that you want? Not
the last guy I got rid of ultimately just wasn't money driven.
Which in sales, you need to be money.
Yeah.
And I feel like we could be having a similar scenario at the moment.
Yeah.
But you've got, you know, I'm good at selling kitchens, not because I know a lot about kitchens. You know, I've never been hands-on, never fitted a kitchen in my life by myself. But I like money. So my goal is, if I sell this, I earn money. This works, put them together, let's have a party. Where some people are like, oh, if we don't sell it, it's cool.
Blasé.
If we don't sell it, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, fucking sell it, I'll pay you more money.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? Yeah, you have a salary.
Do you know, and that's the other thing. It's like, you've got to lock that bar in place.
Yeah.
The more you keep dropping the bar, and if then before you know it, everything's okay. Nothing really matters.
Yeah.
But if nothing really matters, then what's the point of even
Yeah.
having a kitchen company in the first place?
Yeah. And I've thought about it, and I don't want to do it, and I could scale back quite easily.
Yeah.
You
You reckon you make more money that way? Yeah, would you?
Yeah, 100%.
How's that?
Because I'd pick the jobs I wanted
less
to do.
prelims.
There'll be my overheads will be half, if not a lot less. So I can just control the kitchens I do. So we only do kitchens 20 grand and above. So I do 3 a month, 4 a month.
Because the point basically being is that if you employ 3 people and them 3 people don't do what the boss used to do, then they become a hindrance, not a...
Okay.
That they end up holding back what you're trying to achieve.
Okay.
And they might not, it's not like intentional, but it might just not be working. It might not be the right people. It might not be...
Yeah. So I'd make double more, I reckon.
If you was to scale back. So would that maybe be an option?
No.
And why
Because
not?
it's short term. Because it's all me.
And it's almost a bit like a mindset of taking a step backwards as well, isn't it?
And it's all me. You know, I'm trying to create a business I can step back from.
Yeah.
You know, if she's watching this, she's going to kill me. But I'm trying to take Tuesday mornings off. The last 2 I haven't. But so I can take the kids to school. Me and the missus go for a bit of breakfast because I'm not present in the week. And then, I am there on the weekend. But we might do something together on a Saturday. But Sundays, one's got swimming, one's got football. Then like family might pop over. But we're never together.
Yeah.
So
it's tough being a parent.
And I feel guilty taking a Tuesday morning off. You know,
I
I walk into work like I'm late. You know, like I rocked up. I didn't get into work till 8 o'clock this morning, and like everyone's there, and my office manager texts me because I'm normally there at 7. She texts me like, "Everything all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be in soon." Like I'm answering to my office manager like, "Where are you?" Yeah, you know. Much as she never said that, but I want to create and I want to be the business owner where I can go in when I want, only when I'm needed, and spend more time with my kids because what's the point? And you know, I'm a complete contradicting my life currently. I'm not there for my kids. I'm not present by the weekend, and you know I get home 6:30, 7 in the evening, and they're in bed. One's in bed. One goes to bed at 8. I'm not there. Like, so what am I doing? You know, what am I doing this for? So they can have the best future and the best. You know, my parents gave us the best they could give us. I want to give better.
Yeah.
You know, I want them to have a deposit for a house. I want them to say, "Dad, I need a car." Yeah, cool, we got it. Don't worry.
And I think I definitely think you can do that with that journey that you're on, but there's always a price to pay, isn't there? Yeah. And like, if you want to give your kids the best possible life, well, then the price you pay is that they don't necessarily get. So, and that's and there's no right or wrong.
No.
Like at the end of it, it's about what you live with like what you can live with.
And you'll know yourself, right? we work 8 hours a day, right? Technically, we don't.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, I'm definitely not working 8
Yeah.
hours a day. I'm a
But
bit like too mental for 8 hours.
If
a
I
day.
said to you, George, you got between 12 and 4, get it all done. You'd get it all done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
true.
don't need 8 hours. 8 hours is a myth. Whoever invented this is stupid.
Mm.
Don't need it. I do more work between 7 and 8 in the 7 and 9 in the morning, and 5 and 7. So that's 4 hours.
But the issue you got as an entrepreneur as well is that you do end up getting this kind of tunnel vision mindset where you're so focused on creating a company or a podcast or anything, and therefore you're sucked right into it and you're just fully focused on it at any given time, and that
Yeah.
and it's very difficult to shift your refocus and shift your refocus. But you know, you're a natural entrepreneur. You work hard wherever you've gone. You've clearly displayed that. And if you want to create something good and positive and whatever that is, there has to be a level of energy and focus that goes into that. Not forever. Nobody says it has to be forever, but for a period of time, because that would dictate whether something is how successful something
Yeah, and
really
if it works or doesn't work.
Yeah.
It'd be very hard for me one day to hand over the reins to someone, whoever that'll be, and they're like, "Oh God, did you have to go through a few hard times?" Nah, like, I finish at 2:00 every day. I've got friends who've got businesses and they finish at 2:00 every day.
And that was a very key point you just said, if it's going to work or not. By going into that fully speed focus, you'll find out if that journey, because there's expensive. None of this is free. This whole, like, everything in this room costs something. That light, the light, like the speakers, everything costs something, right? And how long does that go on for? Does it go on for 6 months? Does it go on for a year? Does it go on for 10 years?
Yeah.
Well, at the end, like,
What have you got to show for it?
Yeah, what have you got to show for it? Like, because things have got to be sustainable.
Yeah. And you know, my friends that finishes early and every day, like, "Oh, shall we go for lunch and all of this?" And I'm like, "Bro, I'm working. What do you mean, shall we go for lunch?" And he goes, "Yeah, but like, you're the boss." I'm like, "Bro, your business has stayed where it is because you don't have to leave at 2. You can leave at 5 and do some. But I've done everything. Like, I've done what I had to do." I'm like, "Well, do some lead generating, do some filing, do some marketing, like."
There's always something to be
Jump on Canva, like, do whatever you need to do. Come on knees, you know. As much as this is great talking, this is all brand awareness. You know, in the post it'll be tagged.
Absolutely.
You know, so there's one other person who didn't know who F&L Kitchens was at the end of this. Like, that's the way I see it.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
And it's mad, and that's where society, I think, is just lost. There's not enough people that have the drive anymore.
I think people just have to be clear what they want.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think people know what they want.
Yeah,
they probably don't. They probably don't.
They don't know. Shall we save up and buy a house? Yeah, like my parents and family and even my missus, like, let's buy a house. And I'm like, yeah, well, like, we should. But then, you know, I'm a director of my company. As much as they can't, if anything went wrong, I've got something they can come after. You know, firstly, mortgages now up and down. We're very unlikely to get a fixed rate and things like that. You know, 1 month we might be paying $1,000. That runs out. Your term runs out, and you're paying $1,500. Like, it's just so unsettling.
Well, if you can't pay your mortgage, they come take your ass.
Yeah,
So,
electrical bills and gas bills and council taxes, all changing all the time. Food. You know, how does a young person, I'll put us in that category, know what to do with life?
It's too much options now. Anyway, that's a big problem.
And I think it's half a normal thing to rent now.
Yeah, I'm
It's half
renting,
normal.
So, yeah.
I've just been mentally blessed with. I do struggle to figure out what I want in life, but when I say I really want something,
You get it.
I put my heart into it, like my heart and soul into it. So my mind shift changes into an all or nothing person, where it's just like
You're gonna get it.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Sammy's had to. There's been and my dad. I work with my dad. I work with Sammy. I work with other people. Like, you know, sometimes you have to slow yourself down and pull yourself. Like, just calm down a little bit because you want too much too quickly. Like, things take time.
I'm like that. I'm a salesman's dream. As much as I'm a salesman, I am a salesman's dream. If you're like, yeah, like, so I've got this boxing glove here, like $1,000. Yeah, signed by Tussle Fit. I'm like, oh, okay, then cool.
Yeah.
Like, do you need the boxing glove? No, but you might need it if someone breaks into your house.
You
And I'm
didn't know you needed it.
Yeah. Like, I'm a salesman's dream.
Yeah.
Like, you've got me. Holidays, like, I use a lady to book my holidays. She's like, yeah, let's do this hotel. It's going to be out of this world. Like, you'll be like a king. I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah. Where do I sign?
Sold.
I'm a salesman dream, and like, but that's why I work hard.
Mm.
You know, the hotel I'm going to on Friday with the missus, next Friday. That's wicked. Like the room's $1, but it's wicked.
Where you going again?
The Rosewood, in London. I've never been there.
Nice.
Okay.
I
Nice.
found it on Google. Like you're looking at a bag of room.
Yeah, it's
really?
nice.
But I've worked hard for that.
Yeah, you
100%.
earned it, bro.
Yeah. And it's a big birthday. She's 30, and let's
Yeah.
do it. I don't spend enough time, and
You got to enjoy it, man.
I find it really hard, right, not to throw money at problems. I find it really hard because I've not got the money to throw at problems. I've got the money to throw at problems, and I throw money at problems. You know, whether that's my staff, whether that's my family. Same with my nan. I'm like, cool. I'll pay for the best carer.
Yeah.
But I don't know if she's the best carer. I'm just throwing money at a problem.
Yeah. Do you know? Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. Do you know what? I actually, I'm a bit opposite with that. I remember.
You're tight.
Do you know what? I did went through a phase where I went really tight. Yeah, mentally. Because what happened was when I was working for a company, I was earning good money, and I used to spend it, like have a good time, whatever. And I would always like look after people as well. Like we all used to have fun together. But as soon as I started working for myself, I was like, you don't know when you're going to get paid next.
Yeah.
You don't know like when this is going to happen next. So your mindset shifted, and I started just really kind of protecting things.
More frugal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot more frugal.
Yeah, I'm wild, man. I can just be wild. Like, I'm like...
Yeah.
shall
Money
we get
does
you
solve a
this?
lot of issues, though.
It
It
does.
solves loads of issues.
Yeah.
Loads, Like, am I the best husband out there? By far, no. Like, who is? But, when we're together and we do stuff, like, she'd look, like, do you want that? Oh, but, like, 300 quid, like, but, like, we'll get it. Like, we very rarely eat in shit restaurants.
Yeah.
We just wouldn't.
Live a nice life.
Yeah.
You
And,
work hard, the bit you work hard for.
and you only live once. I don't want shit food. I don't want shit
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah, I hear that. And like, I'm not being funny, but if you are working that really hard, at least enjoy some level of
Yeah.
rewards for what you're
Yeah,
trying
like, we're
to
not
do.
crazy, I'm not, like, I would love like, we've got the same car. I would love a S
version. Yeah, they're nice.
But I also know the cost implication of that, insurance, fuel, and everything. So I'm like, yeah, like we won't do that.
But Sammy talks about this as well, about like gratitude, about being grateful, about I think sometimes we're focusing too much on the next thing all the time when
It's what you got, kind of thing.
Yeah, you got to be kind of grateful for what you do have, otherwise that can go, man. And do you know what? There's someone behind you begging for your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's-
it's
that's the other
perspective,
thing.
isn't it? It's perspective.
And I find myself more and more, maybe as I get older, I'm 31, but I'm more and more negative.
Are you? Yeah, as you get older.
More and more negative.
About what?
Just everything.
Just in general.
Like, I'm going to sell, like, and maybe I'm just becoming hard, but my staff will say to me, I'm going to sell this kitchen. I'm like, in my head, no, you're not. Like,
Oh wow! No,
know,
you can't be like that.
no, you're not. And my missus
that
goes, like, this would be
really?
really cool. Like, let's go here. I'm like, it'll be shit. And I'm just maybe more negative. I'm just getting more grumpy. And I just need that.
Grumpy old man.
Yeah, basically. I just need that when you just need for a period of time, and it's hard, and I'm hoping for something.
Break.
A break, or things just go well for a bit. Like, give me a little problem. My staff, run it without me.
Yeah.
Just give me a couple of days.
But you said this earlier yourself about, was it when you were talking about the car crash and stuff like this person that passed away, or the woman that had cancer? Sorry,
Yeah.
It's like the thing we've got to be careful about in life is that there are real problems.
Yeah.
Like, and I think.
Yeah, my 20 grand missing of kitchens, so like one kitchen not getting in, it's not really a problem.
It's not.
First world problem.
It's a first world problem, and
It's a financial problem.
they're relative to resolve. Like, you need to resolve them.
Yeah.
Like, I don't say just ignore them completely, but when you put the scale of problem and problem next to each other, they don't compare, do they? So actually, you should just be looking at it. That's it. It's a minor. Get rid of it. Onto the next thing. But then there's that kind of thing about just making sure you're looking after your well-being all the time as well, and looking after your health and making sure that, because you can't do everything, but you can do bits of things like.
Yeah, and that, that's what I like. I've always someone said to me years ago, "How do you want to die?" Like, Ross, how do you want to die? And I was like, you know what? I want to die in a blaze of glory. Like, I want to run into like a house. The house is on fire, pull the whole family out, and
Heroes
then
ending.
I go to get the dog, and then that's it. Right? Like that's how I would want to die. I would die in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, go out with a bang.
Yeah, but do I? Or do I just want to die peacefully without a fuss?
Mm.
Have you ever asked yourself what your funeral would be like?
Nah, I haven't.
Yeah,
It's a
a
weird
deep
question.
one. To meditate on your own death.
I've always wanted to make sure that I had some upbeat music at my funeral. You know, like
I often hear a good tune. I'm like, I want that song at my funeral.
Yeah.
But I've always wondered. I'm never gonna know, right? Who am I gonna be remembered for when I die? What would they say in my eulogy at my funeral? I don't know. Like none of us will know, unless we fake it.
I think you will always be remembered for how we make people feel.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
So.
And this is where trying to get that work-life balance.
I think it's what you want to be, like. I think the be all and end all comes down to what you want to be remembered for. Like, you can be remembered for whatever you want to be remembered for, but it's about what you do today that contributes to that, and you know, and that's what it is. Like, and to be fair, that's your own legacy, just like it is. Yeah. And no one's is right or wrong. Like,
no.
There's some extremities in life, but you know, I think at the end of the day, whether it's through making people happy or being successful or like whatever that being a family man, it is what it is.
So I think once you become a dad, there's so many boxes you need to tick.
Okay.
Is there a mindset shift?
Yeah, you got to tick, and I don't tick them all every day, every week, every month. You know, you need to be there for your kids. Like my daughter's sports day is next week, Tuesday. At 1 o'clock. Like,
you
there, still in my brain.
Tuesday morning off.
Well, no, I'll take the afternoon off next week.
Okay.
But I could really do without it. Just really could. We're changing accounting software. So Monday I've got like 3 meetings on that. So Tuesday I need a day to work. Like I cannot not go.
Yeah.
Like it's not an option of me not going. But I could do without it. You know, my missus doesn't work. She doesn't work for a reason.
So you're like the only person.
I'm the breadwinner.
Yeah.
But she's the glue.
Yeah.
I'm no glue. Like me and my son, he's only 3, we were busting jokes for her the other day, like winding her up. And she goes, "You two are nothing without me." And I'm like, "You're right." But, you know, teachers striking, they've just announced more strikes. I think not next week, the week after, my daughter's in for 2 days. Because they've got an inset day strike. I don't know, something happens. Like she's in school for like 2 days.
What are they striking about?
Pay
again,
obviously.
Yeah.
The thing is, kids
None
don't
of us
stay
get paid
young
enough.
They don't stay young for long, man.
No.
So it's like I think as you get older, you're gonna have their memories and look back on them. And
I'm lucky if my daughter's school it's a touch. They don't do a dad's race. Like, it's just a touch. I've got a painter in my showroom at the moment. His legs all bruised. I'm like, "What happened, bro?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I pulled my hamstring on a dad's race."
Dad's trying to give it some minute, but they forget like.
But the boxes, I could do without it. But my missus can't work. Can't work, won't work, doesn't work, whatever the word is. So I can do what I need to do and be the breadwinner. But then she can give our kids the best upbringing. Because schools are crazy. You know, I think I read yesterday, I said my missus, there's a 14-day heat wave on its way. And they reckon temperatures could hit 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Guess what happens? Close the schools. First thing the government will do, close the schools. Close the schools and put the hospitals on high alert. You know?
Wow.
When you close the schools, what do working parents do?
They're stuffed, innit? They gotta find care.
Because my staff, none of them have got kids old enough to worry about, but I did previously. My kids can't go to school, so they need to be home. And I'm like, that's not my problem. It's your problem. But it is my problem because I employ someone with kids. You've got a lot more staff than me, and childcare must be huge problem.
Yeah, do you know what? I think most of the people that work at my place, I don't think they have got it's really expensive anyway.
Yeah,
your partner could work a whole month and have to pay for exactly what that childcare.
There's no point we put in childcare, and she working. She's not going to earn that because she'll do like 9 till 3 or whatever.
It's just a trade off then, isn't it? Like
you may as well be at home, be fully present.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, my son's 3, and he goes nursery 9 till 12, 3 days a week at the moment. He'll go to like preschool, same 9 to 12, but every day next year. Like my kids are always got the lurgy, always got something. You know, even I said to her the other week, like, let's go on holiday out of term time. Just pull them out. Like, I don't have to ask anyone permission to go on holiday. You ain't got to ask anyone permission. We just pull the kids out of school.
Is it
It's a problem.
Is it as easy as that these
No.
days? No.
But you know what? I'm going to give them a life experience. So they're not just going to go sunbathe and drink beer for 5 days. We're going to learn how to swim. We're going to try new food, and like what the school can't give them. They strike enough anyway. I'm like that. If you can strike when you want, then I can take my kids when I want.
Yeah. What really are you gonna miss in 5 days?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't miss anything in 5 years.
Yeah.
Have we done that?
You know what I mean?
It's like, what the?
But yeah, it's mad. It's a mad world.
So what's next, bro, for you?
What's next? So that's a great question. I need my sort of 2-3 year goal is to get F&L to a place where it doesn't need Luke every day or all the time. And that will come with a bit of recruitment, a bit more training, and there's some more processes. But the goal is, you know, I'm 31. By the time I'm 35, I can't be doing 16-hour days. I don't want to be doing 16-hour days because I've been doing them now, like most people, but since I was 18. So by the time I'm 35, I want to be further away from the business. Still there, but further away. And then I open up my own new problems of inside out, the temporary kitchens. That takes up all my time. But that also running. But I want to, by the time I'm 35, I want to have saved enough money in the bank. You know, we start looking at buying houses and, you know, do we do investments? And should we go on holiday today? Yeah, cool, let's do
A
it.
bit more freedom.
Yeah, I want to, these 5 years of F&L, which will then be 10, and the 13-year kitchen career I've got has got to pay dividends.
Yeah. Well, with that mindset, it will.
Yeah.
You know.
By the time I'm 35, you know, I can be there every day. You know, my daughter will be 13 and my son will be 8. You know, I'm there.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird now, right? You go to, I'll end it on this. You go to pick up your kids from school. There's not many dads. It's just weird. It's always been the case, right? It's always mums that take them. There's never many dads at the school. And the dad you see, you spot, and you like run over and go hi.
Yeah.
But it's mums. You know, the world's got to change. Send the women to work.
Yeah, that's it. Create something that gives you that freedom to be able to pick the kids up from school. That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Or accept your life in its entirety of, you know, whatever it is, and that's
and work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
You know,
I like that.
I work hard every day. Not necessarily smart.
Yeah.
You know, dealing with problems I don't need to deal with. Don't need to entertain.
He's still a young man, mate. Don't worry about that. You've got time to grow and evolve. So, that's brilliant, though. Luke, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you, Luke.
You've been great today.
Yeah, cool.
And maybe we can get you on again in 5 years' time.
See you when you got TV series.
Yeah, that's it. That would be like the Kardashians.
Yeah, hopefully I can invite you to my beach hut one day.
Yeah.
That'll be sick.
Maybe we'll do an episode in your temporary kitchen sometime.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah,
Sick, bro. While it's driving.
Like just jumping up and down.
Cool.
Luke, thank you very much.
Problem. Thank you.
Cheers, bro.
big love, bro.